Then you got to make sure that your YouTube, we are live.
All right.
Make sure my volume is muted. That always seems to help.
Gotcha.
Make sure everybody can hear us.
Testing, testing.
Yes. I can hear you. Just hope everybody else can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. So we got Dave on from the Great U.S. Treasure Hunt. Dave and I had the privilege of meeting Dave out in Las Vegas at the World Series of Fan.
It's not
And
a privilege. It's just you met me.
hey,
Believe me, there's
hey,
no privilege in meeting me. You can meet me anytime.
that's what I went for, is to meet
Yeah.
all these different individuals.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think you were were you a fin searcher?
I was not a fence searcher. I had an interest in it because obviously I'm interested in treasure hunting, and I did look at the poem maybe for a week or so and realized, I'm in over my head. There's a level of vagueness that I don't think I'm going to be able to overcome. I thought it was fairly clear that you'd have to actually go to the place.
Oh yeah.
And I wasn't, I was like, if I can't solve the puzzle and it tells me where to go, if I have to go to a place and then solve a thing, that's not my deal.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, I got to meet you. As a matter of fact, we sit at the same poker table. I think you lasted longer than I did, if I remember
I don't
correctly.
know. I didn't last long enough to win anything.
Sean from Xavier Marks is the one that took me out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
his he had a boat and I had a boat, but his boat was
Oh,
like I think he had 9 and 8s and I had 9 and 7s.
you can't keep your stack like that.
And
Yeah, that's
I went all in because I had the boat. And
that's just a beat you're going to take. Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's a cold deck. You cannot avoid that.
That was my first time playing in a poker
Really?
tournament like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, first time unlucky, unfortunately. But speaking of poker tournament, where's my hat? Hold on a second. I'm going to propel myself.
Yeah. There
This
you
is
go.
this is a I call it the poker Stetson, and you can't really see it on there, but you can see some green markings.
Uh-huh.
What's the mo most obvious one? There's, I guess. Can you even read that, or is it reversed? Is it one of those things?
No, it's not reversed.
It's
It's
Doyle
Doyle.
Brunson.
Yeah.
Yeah. This hat has been signed by 17 world champions of poker, the main event winners. So Doyle Brunson, Johnny Chan, Phil Hellmuth, Richard, not Ryan Reese, Joe Hashem. Uh, I went to Vegas year after year after year, hoping to find, these World Series of Champion people. I always took the hat with me, and I got, autographs every once in a while. So there's some pretty cool autographs on there.
That's interesting. I like how you did that.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. And someone said, "Oh, it's so dirty." It's like, "Yeah, because I wore it." I had an escape room where it was called the poker room, and it was a little different spin on an escape room. You actually had to solve the mystery of the missing poker bracelet,
Huh.
and you had to figure out not only who were the six people that were sitting at the table, but which of those people stole the bracelet and where is the bracelet currently? And there were a bunch of lockers, and the players had things in the lockers. And it was a really fun thing. But I was the dealer. And the way that you would get clues is that every minute the dealer would put one more card on the table, and the cards had clues written on them. And so the teams had to, it was almost, it's like a giant game of Clue.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and I wore this hat the whole time in addition to going and getting autographs on it. So it was kind of a fun thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you want to tell us about your treasure hunt? So we've got 10 coins, ten thousand
10
dollars.
It is 10 states, 10 coins, 10 clues, $10,000. The
Yeah.
Great US Treasure Hunt.com. The clues are going to be in a comic book, which is going to look surprisingly like this, although not exactly like this. This is one of the dummy books that we had printed up before. And there was a little bit of a controversy online that this exact page, it's a Roman, you can see that Julius Caesar is having a bad day right there.
Right.
And there was a puzzle here. In our promo video, a guy freeze framed the promo video and solved the puzzle that was in the video. Um, now we printed this up as a dummy book, but to show TV producers so that or TV producers, production companies, etc., could have a tangible thing that we could leaf through and say, okay, here's this puzzle, here's that puzzle. And so they can kind of get an idea for what it is, because most people have no idea. Well, not most people, but TV guys, you say, hey, we're doing a treasure hunt and we're doing clues, and they don't know what the story is. So you have to
Right,
have
right.
something physical and something tangible. So we printed it up with some solvable locations in it. And so this guy went on, or he saw our promo video and he slowed it down, and there was one frame where even though it was blurry, he could read it and he solved the puzzle. And we're like, oh, that's not the right, don't go there. There's nothing that's going to be there. It's not the place. So don't go to Pope Park in I think it was Hartford, Connecticut, Pope Park in Hartford, Connecticut, under a clock or something. It is an actual location, but it's not one of the locations in the Great U.S. Treasure Hunt. But when you solve the puzzles, you'll get that type of exact location. It
Yeah.
won't be somewhere in the Rockies, buried under the blue rock. It's going to be an actual location. Hope Park, Hartford, under blue clock, or something like that.
Yeah.
The coins are hidden. They are not buried. So similar to a geocache where it's in a location that just walking by, you may not look over and go, oh, look, there's a coin there.
Mhm.
Just like a lot of geocaches they're concealed, but they're not buried.
Right.
But then again, none of them are also off of a trail. So
Yeah.
all of our locations are within 500 feet of parking. So you
Mhm.
can park, you can walk over and look around, feel around. A couple of them have been under like a child's slide, under the very lip of the slide. One was at an outdoor sink where there was a facing for the sink and you had to reach up under and kind of feel around and get the coin that way. So there's a lot of places in public you can hide something and it remained hidden for a long, long time unless someone comes along that's actually looking for it.
Yeah.
And so that's the goal of it, is that you get the book, you solve one of the puzzles, and either you or a partner then goes and finds the coin, and it's $1,000 prize. If you find it and solve the puzzle and get the coin, it's $1,000. If you solve a puzzle and you're in Florida and you've solved Hartford Park in Connecticut and it's day one, you're like, oh, I'm never going to make it. You call a friend up in the Connecticut area. Hey, how fast can you get to this place called Pope Park in Hartford? I can be there in 30 minutes. Great, go get it. That person gets 500, you get 500. They keep a souvenir coin and you get a souvenir coin. Now, this is actually one of the coins that will be hidden exclusive to this show. We've never broken them out before. This is the coins that are the souvenir coins. And
Yeah.
if you look, there's a slight difference between
Difference.
those two coins. And on the edge, there will be a serial number. So there can't be any fakery or anything like that.
Right.
We'll know exactly which coins are hidden in which locations. So the solver will get one of the coins. The finder will get the coin that's obviously the one that we actually hide. And then the solver will get its mate. And you'll each get at least $500, because we reserve the right to make the prizes go up. The prizes
Mhm.
won't go down, but we reserve the right to add stuff into the prize pool if we feel like it later.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds, I like how you've done that, because it did remind me when you told me about it, because I hadn't did your hunt before. And
Mm-hmm.
then talking to you in Vegas, I was like, it did sound a lot like geocaching,
A little
if you're
bit,
hunting
yeah,
for geocaches,
yeah, yeah,
kind of exactly the same thing.
yeah. And a lot
Except
of the
geocaches don't pay off, but This does.
Yeah, you go out and the funny thing is that I bought a Magellan GPS machine. It's got to be 10 years ago. Is it 10 years ago? It's at least 10 years ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago. Because I thought, oh, this will be really fun, and I can go out and do this with my daughters. And I didn't ask my daughters, hey, do you guys want to go out and do this? As it turns out, middle school girls don't really like to go out with their dad looking for stuff based on coordinates that you get in the machine. So I probably should have asked them first, hey guys, do you want to do this? They would have said no. And so I would have not wasted my money on a Magellan, whatever the thing is, because I used it the one time and then it's up on the shelf like, oh well, the best laid plans.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but as far as the treasure hunt goes, yeah, we just want to we hide something but not make it don't bring a metal detector with you. Don't bring any shovels.
yeah.
It's
No need for that.
public. Like I said, it's within free parking, easy access. So if you are handicapped in some way, you'll still be able uh, to get the item.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing's going to be up a tree, in other words, anything like
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah.
So I know you've watching Calazars, a little shout out to Christy and Mike.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I did watch that show that night. I don't like the way you were teasing about the whole Joplin thing.
Oh, I was saying no Joplin.
Yeah, you dropped that and I'm like, what's he trying to do
There was
here?
no Joplin. Yeah, I can't do actual clues in a stream. So we've now eliminated Joplin, Missouri in that stream, and Hartford, Connecticut's Pope Park is not going to be in it. So we now know two exact
Yeah,
locations. Joplin, Missouri, out. Pope Park and Hartford, Connecticut, out. Oh, I will say though, we have 10 states. And so for your viewers who haven't seen any previous videos, we're spreading them way out. There are at least two coins. Well, there's one coin in either Hawaii or Alaska.
yep,
So many hunts like this. They say the United States, but it's really 48 states. They're never going to hide something in Hawaii or Alaska. We've got something that's going to be either in Hawaii or Alaska. And then at least two states that border the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf Coast states, the Great Lakes states, and at least two state capitals will have coins in them.
yeah.
So this isn't just going to be some little tiny podunk towns that are out nowhere that you're going to have to drive definitely for an hour and a half, even if you're the closest person to it. These are big, they're good locations that some of them are really iconic locations. One of them is unbelievably fantastic. And I'm excited when that one gets gets solved. But yeah, that's part of the thing too, is that in the pitch for the television show, you have to make the locations like, there has to either be something historic about it or iconic about it.
Right.
It can't just be it's a neighborhood park in some suburb that's in the middle of a state that has no history to it whatsoever, just some horrible, terrible location. Now, luckily, there aren't many places like that. I've driven, I want to say I've driven to 45 different states, scouting locations and doing this. And when you look up, what these parks are, a lot of them are, this is the first park in the state. Like, some guy donated land and it happens to be the first public park in the state going back all the way to 1865 or 1843. And you wouldn't know it to look at it.
Right,
But
right.
when you do a little bit of digging on these locations, you can find some fantastic, historical nuggets about just about anywhere in the country.
Yeah. Well, that's what you were just talking about it. I had a list here that, you mentioned at least two in the along the Pacific Ocean there, states that
Pacific
border the
Atlantic,
Pacific
yep,
Ocean. So, we're talking about Washington, Oregon, and California
right,
over on the West Coast.
right,
On the East Coast, there's quite a few states over on the East Coast,
right, right.
on the Atlantic.
At
I can't
least
remember, like
two.
there's like 14. There's like 14 states that border 14, 15.
It's possible.
Yeah,
I don't know the exact number, but yeah, there's at least two Atlantic coast states, at least two Gulf Coast, at least two Pacific and at least two Great Lakes. And I saw a comment on one video that said, "Oh, so there's no states in the flyover state, or there's no coins in the flyover states." Like they thought every single coin was going to border water in some way.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, there are states that are both Atlantic and Great Lakes states. And
Yes.
there's a
Yeah.
one state in particular that is both an Atlantic and
New
a
York.
Gulf Coast
Is
state.
is
It's
it New
Florida.
York?
So I'm just
Yeah.
saying at least two states in these locations. But
Yeah.
if there's a coin in Florida, that would cover both the Gulf Coast
And
and the Atlantic. So
I think the one for the Great Lakes and the Atlantic up north, is that New York? Would that be New York?
I think New York stretches from Lake Erie or
Yes.
whatever the lake
Yeah. Yeah.
is. And
Lake.
obviously New York borders the Atlantic Ocean as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there are states that cover both areas. So rest assured, flyover people, there I should say there are at least two states. There are at least two flyover states. I should have just done that from the beginning. There's at least two flyover states. There you go. Two everywhere. There's two of everything. Oh, and five different time zones.
Yeah. Five
So
different time zones. Yep.
five time zones, all four in the continental United States, and then of course Alaska or Hawaii is going to be the fifth time zone.
Yeah. Now the state capital one.
There's at
So,
least two state capitals
and that's in the United States,
in the United
basically.
States within the city limits of that particular capital. Doesn't mean it's on
Yeah.
Capitol grounds, which would be probably not a great place to put a coin,
Right.
but within the city limits of at least two capitals.
Hmm.
So, in other words, it's not, these are no, they're not all centralized, but they are in good locations where you hear the name of the city and most people are going to go, "Oh, I've heard of that city."
Hmm.
It's not going to be, I'm making a name up, Clevenger, Colorado. I don't even know if there's a Clevenger, Colorado, because it's not famous. What do I know about, Colorado? I know Denver, I know Colorado Springs. There's a couple other cities I know. But yeah, there's not too many cities when you hear the location, you're going to go, I have no idea where that is. There
Right.
might be one or two, but the majority of the locations are going to be, when you hear it, you're going to go, okay, I know where that is.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the book itself is more like a comic book type structure. Where
Right. It's
the
the
left page is
format
going
is
to be text, and the
the
right hand page is going to be like you.
exactly. So in
Yeah.
this puzzle, you can see there's an illustration over here, and this is one of our illustrations that is done by Alan Carter. He's a comic illustrator.
Hmm.
And then over on this side is the text that's going to be replaced because this is the dummy puzzle on the left side. And then there wasn't really anything on the right side. You can see that Caesar has a wall which is suspiciously blank behind him. And when you
Exactly.
get the actual book, that wall that is suspiciously blank on the dummy puzzle may have something written on it when the hunt actually starts. So, but yeah, it is generally text on this side,
Mhm.
illustration on that side, and there's no guarantee that you have to use both. You may
Right.
be able to use just the text, you may use just the illustration, or you may use both
Use
of them
both.
together. Now, in the dummy one, the guy was able to freeze frame on this page. And so he was able to use the text clues alone because,
Mhm.
as I said, this is an unfinished illustration. So he was able to use that. Now, in there's some other puzzles, like, for example, this is a little more comic booky. That's
Mhm.
one of Alan Carter's things. There's some superheroes got there with a bunch of
Superheroes.
numbers, and there's some letters over there. That puzzle's called Math Heroes. Again,
Mhm.
it's a dummy puzzle, but that's a question of, do you use only the left side, the right side, or do you
Or
use
both.
them both?
Yeah.
And
Right.
we don't indicate to you in the book which one you're doing. It's something that you have to figure out as you're
Yeah.
doing. Okay,
Yeah.
well, this is something that I think it's this only the text. I'm going to ignore the drawing. And then after you exhaust yourself, you're like, okay, well, maybe I should look at the drawing. How can these two things work together? Or you may use only the illustration. We hope that people have fun figuring it out. Um, And also then at the end when we explain it, because we'll have videos, we have a YouTube channel as well. So Great US Treasure Hunt at YouTube, if you subscribe there. There aren't going to be too many clue videos, we don't think, unless the hunt goes along and it's several weeks have gone by without a solution to any of the puzzles. Then we may drop a clue video, but we'll definitely have that. The Forest Fen treasure hunt was, I think, maybe the number one mistake was that once the thing was over, it wasn't explained.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it went on for a decade anyway. And
Mhm.
then for someone to find it and then not have it explained, where was it? How did you solve it? You know, they left it all up in the air. Apparently, the Netflix show is coming up, and hopefully things will be explained then. But
Yeah.
we're going to explain who found it, where did they find it, how did they find it, here's how you could have solved it, etc. So we won't have that open-endedness of like,
Right. Right.
well, how did this even get done?
Now, if a coin gets found, do you
Right.
wait till all the other ones are found before the solutions are
No,
revealed,
we're
or
going to go as we go. So
as you go?
yeah, when one gets found, because that way you'll know not to waste your time on, let's say the Caesar puzzle is the first one that gets solved. We'll
Mhm.
say the Julius Caesar puzzle has been solved. It was for Pope Park, Hartford, Connecticut. Here's how
Mhm.
they did it. Blah blah blah. There's still 9 to go. Good luck, everyone. And there you go. So we'll try to get those videos out as quickly as we possibly can.
So do you see this going uh finishing before winter time?
I
Or do you
hope so. I hope so
really
because we
you
don't
think
want
it'll be
the
that quick?
you don't want people digging through snow. I don't know. When is the earliest snow in Alaska?
Yeah,
No. It's probably already snowing.
probably already.
Probably right now. The thing is, though, like I said, we've scouted literally every location. So whether it's Alaska or Hawaii, Hawaii clearly is not going to get snow. But if it is Alaska, there's locations in Alaska where you can protect something and have it not be snowed on.
Right.
And so I don't want to say any more than that, but you can hide things and not have them be covered in snow. And that's the same with any of our locations. None of our locations will be covered in snow
Mhm.
unless, well, there's one place I can think of, like if the snow gets 5 feet high, maybe then, but even then, probably not. I hope we don't have to worry about that. I hope it
Well,
gets, like, I mean, 8 to 10 weeks for us, I think would be good.
oh, you really think
We
so?
really don't want this to drag on past
Yeah.
Christmas. I
I
wouldn't.
thought maybe you were going to say into springtime, maybe early summer next
I
year.
will. We want to do another one in the spring. We want to do
Yeah.
another one in the spring or late spring or early summer.
Mhm.
We've got more locations ready to go,
Mhm.
and in the next one that we do, it'll be way more comic booky. These are now you can see that that it's generally drawing on the left and text on the right, but
Mhm.
the puzzles we've designed for the next one, and we've got 3 of them almost completely illustrated. When you open it, it reads like a comic book with panels, with characters, with dialogue and illustration on both sides of the page. So if we sell enough books to get the next one going, the next one will be way more comic booky, and we absolutely don't want to wait more than May, May or
Right.
June,
Yeah.
maybe at the latest. We'd really like to. It's funny that we haven't even started this one and we're already excited about doing the next one. But that's just the way it is. We've gone to all these different locations. We've scouted everything. We've got the puzzles are finished, and yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah.
So if you haven't ordered a book yet, we were talking earlier that there's the normies, the who this is we figured this was kind of the lull period because we're still about 30 days out, that there's
Right.
no urgency, there's no sense of urgency for people like, yeah, I'll do it. Problem
I'm
is
going to
it's
share my screen. Just let me know if
yeah.
you can
Oh
see.
yeah. Awesome. There we go. Great
Yeah.
US treasure hunt. So
Yeah.
the normies will think if you scroll down there just a little bit, there we go. Featured products, 30, 60,
Yeah.
$90, and you can buy just a coin alone if you want to as well.
Right.
But the thing is that a lot of normies will think, I'll get it later. The problem is if you don't do another video on it, and you may not, because thank you very much for doing this one, by the way, but there's no need for you to do an update video. And if Calazars doesn't do one, people just forget about it. And then suddenly it's November 15th and 9 of the things have already been found. They had meant to order the thing and then they forgot about it. So if you're the type of person who forgets about something, go ahead and order now
Yes.
and get one of the books. The first package is just one book. It's $30. It includes shipping to anywhere in the US, normal mail. And then the second one, you get 2 books and a souvenir coin. We're calling that one the collector because some people want to collect one book and then open the other book and draw on it and fold it and, mutilate it. But they want one book to be pristine, and then they'll have the souvenir coin. And then the last one we call the team pack. It's 3 books and 3 coins. So if you have a team you should have a team really, because the odds of you solving the puzzle that's in a park just down the street from you, remote, really remote. Connect with
Yeah, you
friends.
kind of when
You
you
had
rolled
already
out,
said, yeah, you've connected with friends in like 9 different states already, and that's the way to do it. Friends and family and coworkers that have moved away, you connect with them. You have that web of a team, and that's the team pack. It's 3 books, but if you have a team member that's 700 miles away from you, at least now you're able to cover more ground if one of you comes up with a solution on day one.
right? Yeah, when you rolled out Joplin, that just broke my heart because I'm only
Oh,
like 4 hours away there.
oh no. Where are you at?
Columbia, Missouri, centrally located in Missouri.
Columbia. Okay, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Well, if
You're in
it's
Texas, right?
I'm in Texas, so
Yeah,
if it's in Missouri, you're in a good spot that if there's a Missouri location,
yeah,
you could beat them. You could be anywhere within a couple hours.
yeah. Now, whereabouts in Texas are you? Centrally
I'm in
located?
Leander, which is just north of Austin, Texas, so
Oh,
central
okay.
Texas. From here,
We just went through Austin, Texas a couple of weeks ago on vacation.
yeah, it takes
Yeah.
3.5, 4 hours to get out of the state, driving 60 miles an hour as fast as you possibly can. You can drive for 4 hours, you're still in Texas. There's a sign, there's a traffic sign in El Paso as you come into Texas, and I think it says Beaumont, 837 miles. And that's the other side of Texas. So as you're coming into Texas, it lets you know you're over 800 miles away from getting through this state if you're driving, and I've done a lot of driving.
Yeah.
So it's a big state. And Alaska, of course, laughs at Texas. Alaska says you cut Alaska in half, North and South Alaska, both still larger than Texas.
Yeah.
But Alaska's a big state. But yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
country. And that we've spread it out. We've got 10 coins. So yeah, get a team, spread out, hook up on Discord or Facebook or however you connect with people, and get a team going and solve some puzzles. And even if people aren't into puzzle solving, they might look at one of them and say, "Oh, I have an idea," and you never know. It
Yeah.
might be
Yeah.
the right idea and lead to a solution.
And
But
when
you
did you
have to
say
physically go and get it.
the mail out date is?
Originally, it was October 14th, and we went online and we said it was the 14th. We did the Calazar show, it's the 14th. We changed it on our website, it's the 14th. We sent out a mass email, it's the 14th. And one person, and that person is the legendary Nancy Zitko, who was the first finder way back in 2020. She found the Silver Z that was under the bench in Las Vegas. Nancy, the only person out of the hundreds and hundreds or potentially thousands of people who heard us say it's mailed out on the 14th. There's Nancy.
Yeah.
She sent an email or a text and said, October 14th is Columbus Day. Aren't the post offices closed on Columbus Day? And so we looked it up, and sure enough, the day we had chosen to launch the hunt was the most bizarre federal holiday, Columbus Day, where the post office is actually closed. So that is why, thanks to Nancy, we're mailing everything out on October 15th, not October 14th, because she's the only one who noticed or brought our attention to it. And Nancy's in the hunt, so she'll be she'll be trying to solve the clues just like everyone else.
She was
But
probably curious if that was a clue or not somehow.
it was absolutely not a clue. We just, and I mean, for all the research that we do about everything, neither Jeff or I, Jeff Kessler is the president of the Great U.S. Treasure Hunt, neither of us thought October 14th would be a problem. And I said to Jeff later, and I think I might have posted this online, if you had asked me what day Columbus Day was, I have no idea. I would have first, in order, I would have guessed March, April, or August. Those would have been my first three guesses for Columbus Day. I had no idea what day Columbus Day was. And apparently, Columbus Day falls in October. So now I'll remember
Yep,
that forever.
forever.
Yeah, forever I'll know that Columbus Day, October 14th, and well, I guess it's the second, I guess it must be the second Monday
Second
of the
Monday.
month because
Yes,
that way the post office gets their day off and
right.
messes up our hunt. So everything's going to go out on the 15th. We're going to have some of them being mailed from LA, the LA area. Before I've just said the California area, but it's the LA area.
Mhm.
Um, we're going to have Arizona. If you live in Arizona, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Hawaii, or Alaska, and you've ordered our book or books, then on the 15th, you'll have your books. If you've ordered now,
Mhm.
you'll have those books mailed from the LA area. Every other state will be mailed from this area, and it's the normal US Post Office. We couldn't set up, FedEx. It's free shipping. So the calculation for FedEx and all that stuff would just be like, okay, look, if you live in a rural area that has a really slow postal guy, you're just handicapped in this hunt. But we wanted to do, try to get a little closer to the folks on the West Coast because we have connections on the West Coast. We don't really yet on the East Coast. There's a slim chance we might have someone on the East Coast that's able to mail for us, but we don't think so.
Mhm.
Um, so on October 15th, they'll all go out. Um, any orders that come in, I want to say October 1st, 2nd, or later, everything will get mailed from the Austin area.
Mhm.
But if you order before September 31st or so, September 30th, and you're on the West Coast, you get a little bit of an advantage because that should cut a day off
Yeah.
uh, from mailing from Texas as opposed to mailing from California. It should you should pick up a day there.
Mhm.
But these aren't all day one solutions. So,
Yeah.
keep that in mind that having a 1 day handicap, the one puzzle 100% is going to be solved on day one. You're not going to solve it if you don't get it on day one. Um, all the others, we're not so certain. They may take a little bit of time to solve. And then we will have clues. Like I say, if several weeks go by and we don't have anything, we've had 5 solutions and 5 that haven't been solved, we'll put out a clue for at least one of them. Because yeah, we don't want to be dragging through snow.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Exactly.
it's Christmas and it's New Year's and it's a whole holiday thing. Um, yeah, we generally would like probably 8 to 10 weeks to have it all wrapped up. Not
Yeah.
not 100% that it will be, but that's what we'd like it to be.
Yeah, that's nice. I was going to let everybody know that I ordered the team pack. It's got the
Gotcha.
3 books and the 3 coins. So, and I'm not going to discourage anybody from going ahead and getting their order in now. But if for some reason you're on the fence, I am going to give 2 of my books away. So if you comment on this video or you hear this video, make a comment, and next week when I go live I'll do it on a Wednesday. I will give away 1 book, and then the following week I'll give away another one. And I don't know if I can coordinate that with you, Dave. Maybe give that address to you, possibly, or just better for me to take care of
You
it
know
on
what?
my
We
end.
didn't talk about this beforehand, but the thing we discussed was we're going to mail it to you, then you'll have to
Yes.
mail it to them, and then
Yeah.
they're handicapped. But
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yeah.
So, yes, we'll make this exception for you. You give us those 2 addresses, and we'll send those books out, whether they're on the West Coast or anywhere else. we'll send them at the same exact time. So they won't have that handicap of it has to get to you first and then you
Yeah.
send it out. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We'll get
Well, like I
you.
said, if it doesn't work out, I'm okay with that. So
No,
whatever
that's
works
fine. If
for
you
you on
send us
your
those,
end.
you send those two addresses, we'll write them down on a separate thing and they will have their books go directly to them. That would
Well,
be
I appreciate
fantastic.
that. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that or anything, but
Yeah, no, that's a good, that was a good, I'm surprised I didn't think of it, but I'm thinking of other things.
you
But
know,
yeah, no, that's a great, yeah, that
yeah,
way your viewers, whoever the two are that get it, aren't handicapped by it.
yeah.
But yeah, like you say, oh, you're going to do the drawing next week or?
I'm going to do a drawing next week and then the week after.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Should
Uh,
be fine. And if it's not, we won't worry about it. Just send the books to me, and I'll as soon
no,
as I
I'll
I'll
send them to
ship them out.
those, I'll send them to them, but do keep in mind that, um,
Might be still a
having
delay.
two books is better than having one book. So,
Yeah, yeah.
you can give it to you can give the one that you win to your uncle, your aunt, a neighbor, a coworker, and they can be part of a team. You never know when a coworker says, "Oh, I literally have family in 10 different states." That's the person that you definitely want to become a partner with because
Right.
it's the person with the most scope. When you solve something and say, "Hey, did you have someone in Connecticut?" Yeah, I did. I said I had someone in Connecticut. Oh, okay, fantastic. Pope Park in Hartford. Run down there and yeah. So it's great to be able to share and to build a large web of a big team.
Right, right. I agree. I mean, yeah, the more people you have on your team with the more books, that's it's going to
Right.
help anyway. Yeah.
Now, that said, we only split the prize two ways. So if you have a team of 20 people and you solve the puzzle and one person finds the coin, we're not going to split it into 20, $50 prizes. So we're going to do one, the solver gets 500, the finder gets 500, and then
Whatever you do
if
after
you
that,
want to
Sean.
divide it up later, that's fine with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's considered prize winnings uh, all over the country. So there's going to be paperwork that you'll have to do to say, yes, I'm going to pay taxes on this $500. And yes, it's a business expense for us and it's a tax expense for you. So there's minimal paperwork that has to be done. It's like one sheet of paper. There's 990 RF or something like that. That's prize winnings from a contest, which is what this would be considered. But yeah, so we won't divide it. You can have 100 people on your team. It's just that we only divide it two ways.
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody in the chat, I've kind of been watching the chat to see if there was any questions, and I haven't really
Oh,
seen.
okay. I
I got
haven't
there was a
seen the
shout out
chat.
for your there was a shout out to your shirt. They loved your shirt.
Oh, that is, yes, it is an Indiana Jones shirt.
Yes, it
Hold
is.
on, I'll go for the close-up. So it
I like
is,
it.
it is Indy. There he is, and he's doing some stuff. So I felt that was kind of appropriate. There are so many pieces of entertainment that have to do with treasure hunting.
Oh
And,
yes.
I mean, Goonies is being rebooted soon. Um, God, what's the other thing that's coming up that was
There's been
something?
a lot of treasure hunt movies
Oh
recently.
yeah, yeah. There's another one they're remaking. What is it? It's not Goonies either. It's okay. Well, I'll think of it shortly after we sign off. I'll say, oh, now
Yeah.
I remember. But yeah, they're either remaking it or rebooting it. But yeah, there's so many treasure hunt movies that have come along. Um, and it's fun to be able to go out and do it in real life.
Yeah.
And so we do recommend that if you do find something, go nuts, jump up and down, film yourself with the coin, be a nut. You don't have to, but it would be a
Well,
lot more fun if you
isn't
did.
that what you're supposed to do when you find treasure? Is you take a picture of
Yeah,
yourself with it?
yeah, exactly. And see, that's the problem with that's another criticism of the Forrest Fen hunt.
I knew you were going to go there.
It's so valuable
Um,
that the person who found it, it was like, I got to hide this. If it had been less valuable, he wouldn't, there would be no reason to. So if you go out and find one of our coins, no one's going to come break down your door and get your coin for $500 or for $1,000. But yeah, if you have $1 million prize, that
different
may
story.
be a reason that I'm going to keep this on the down low.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you find our dinky little prize, please have fun with it. You don't have to film yourself or take photos and stuff, but it would be great if you did.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you probably get a lot of those in the past, you know.
Oh, we've tried to meet everyone that has found a prize. In the one that we did last in 2022, we did 6 consecutive weekends where we emailed people clues, and we knew the clues were so easy that we knew that within an hour or two someone would be at the location. We designed it specifically to be a quick solve, uh, because one of the elements of proof that when you go to pitch a TV show or a production company is, well, what if it's too hard? What if you never have anyone show up?
Hmm.
Can you actually do this week after week? So we did in 6 weekends in a row, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Austin, Texas, Washington, D.C., Asheville, North Carolina, and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So we were in those parks waiting for them to show up. We sent out emails with 4 or 5 puzzles for each location. Some of them were misleading puzzles, and then some of them gave you the exact location. And they were easy enough that we knew that, hey, we're going to have some winners. In Asheville, North Carolina, we had 14 teams show up within the first 90 minutes. We had
Oh
four
wow.
teams. We had 4 teams looking before the coin was found. There were 4 different groups of searchers that were there and could have. Now, if I had a professional camera with me, I could have easily made a show out of that. I could have been showing all of the people. So
Right.
that is a thing that this could have been a television show if only someone had funded a little more money. Mr. Production Company guy that turned me down because they thought this couldn't be done. So we proved that it could be done.
Yeah.
Um, and it's so we've met almost everybody in person. And the couple that we haven't met, they did. They took pictures of themselves and they sent us information. So we hope that'll happen this time. We can't be camped out in 10 different locations this time.
Right.
So
Right. Well, that makes sense.
we're hoping people will send us videos, send us photos, and yeah, we're excited.
I'm glad you guys are I can tell you're having a blast and can't wait for
Yeah,
the start.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I did somebody said National Treasure. Was that the one you were thinking of?
Yes, that's going to be they're rebooting as a TV series, I think. Or
Yeah,
is
I
it
think that's right.
or
Oh,
or did that fail? I think it was pitched as that, hey, we're going to do a National Treasure TV series, except it wasn't with Nicolas Cage. Then there was an uproar, and then they canceled it,
okay.
and then now it's back on with Nicolas Cage. But I think that's still in limbo. But that is the one that I was thinking of, was that National Treasure is either going to be rebooted or remade or something like that. And then Goonies, of course, which fingers crossed, because that could be fantastic. If you
That
have
could,
most of the Goonies come back and they've all got kids or even grandkids,
right?
you'd think there would be no way to screw up that premise. But lately, Hollywood has been screwing up premises left and right.
Yes.
So hopefully they come through and they just throw a fastball down the middle. Don't throw a curveball. Don't throw a knuckleball. Don't get cutesy. And, oh, we're going to subvert the audience expectations. Do what the audience wants. Make Goonies 2, bring back Chunk, bring back Gadget,
Gadget.
bring back Sam from Frodo and Sam. Bring all those guys back and have them find a treasure. Easy. And they
Yeah,
have kids and grandkids that are doing it. You can't have an easier process
it would
laid
be a
out for
family
you.
affair.
Yeah, just throw fastballs. Don't get
Yeah.
cute. Look at Beetlejuice that has come
Yeah.
out.
Right.
It's 36 or 38 years later. And what did they do? They went and got Michael Keaton and they let him do his Beetlejuice thing, and they brought most of the cast back except for the one that's in prison for the stuff that he's in prison for.
Yeah. Gina
And
Davis
they
wasn't in it.
they basically went right down the middle and just said, okay, we're giving you what you expect. And it's gonna make $1 billion.
Yeah.
Don't get cutesy and throw curveballs and think that people are going to show up because your idea was better than the original idea. It wasn't better than the
Right.
original idea. Well, one of the failures of the latest Indiana Jones movie. Indiana Jones wasn't the star of the movie. The
Right.
woman was the
The,
star of the
the
movie. The
woman.
woman did all the action. She figured out all the stuff. She punched him in the face. Uh, she killed his assistant. It was like, oh my God, how badly can you mess this up?
Miss, yeah, that
But
was a total miss.
but they did. But they did. If they just bring Indy back, he's trying to find a treasure. If you need a woman in it, how about this? Salah, who is the Egyptian guy, John Rhys Davies, right? He appeared in the movie. How about Salah has a daughter who's gone into archaeology, and she needs assistance trying to find some archaeological thing.
Hmm.
And so Salah's daughter comes and wants to help. Indy, I need your help. There you go. That's it. That's
Yeah,
what. And then
that's
Indy
it.
comes in, and it's his one last adventure. He doesn't want to do it, but it's Salah's daughter. She rescued him back in the day when, they had all the little kids in the first movie. They go, "Oh, Uncle Indy," and then then they spirit him away. But just to have some random British chick that nobody cares about, and there was no heart there at all. It was
Right.
just like, oh my, this is just dreadful. And that's why it didn't make any money. That's when
Yep.
it lost hundreds of millions of dollars. Just throw a
Mhm.
fastball down the middle, give the audience what they want.
What they
So
want.
hopefully, what
Yes.
the audience wants for treasure hunts,
And they
clues.
already know what the audience wants.
Yeah,
Just
puzzles you can,
deliver. Just
for
deliver.
us, it's puzzles you can solve,
Yeah.
things that are actually findable fairly quickly, and friendly people who run the hunt from inside their silly place that has a lot of paintings hanging on the walls, the gallery. But yeah, just throw a fastball down the middle.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Fastballs down the middle, no curveballs.
Somebody mentioned you should pitch it to the BBC.
No, because it's the great U.S. treasure hunt.
Well, that makes sense.
And here's the problem with it. I mean, have you seen, if you're online, you are now subject to prosecution for mean tweets in Britain. So if you, not only just if you tweet it yourself, you can retweet something that the British government finds bad,
Hmm.
and they'll have people at your door. Well, we fought a war for that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
BBC, when I'd be happy to pitch the Great British Treasure Hunt when I felt that it was a little more, when the government wasn't just going to knock down your door. You have a coin there, mate. I
So
heard you were out there digging in the Queen's grave.
they
Yeah, so
clarified that BBC America. Is that was there a difference? I don't even
it's
know
still
that.
it's still the BBC. Let's when you're doing the Great U.S. Treasure Hunt, let's have it be a U.S. company that actually does it. Oh, we are trademarked, by the way. Yay! So we got our trademark, official trademark came in. The Great U.S. Trademark with a little TM. Hooray!
Nice.
Yes, yes.
How long did that take you?
It took way longer than it should have. We started the process once and we were going to do everything ourselves. And then the government came back and said, "Oh, you did this, that, and this wrong." And I said to Kessler, "Dude, let's just put this on hold. And the next time we do this, let's pay one of those trademark attorneys because we did it all on our
Yeah.
own. Like, how tough can it be? Well, you have these things wrong. So we just said, let's put this on hold. Let's hire an attorney the next time we do it. So we did. We hired an attorney the next time we did it. And what do you know? When the attorney did it, all the little nitpicky stuff that they throw to ordinary citizens suddenly magically went away. And the
Yeah.
attorney, and I swear it was the same exact stuff. We did all the same stuff. We told the attorney, here's what we did. Here's all the news coverage we've gotten. Here's all the hunts that we've done. It's been nationwide. We have this many thousand Facebook, this many thousand of this and that and the other. And he's like, okay. And he packed it all up. He sent it out. They sent it back. And there was like one appeal, sent it back. Okay, trademark. It was like, okay, great. Exactly. That's exactly what we knew what would happen. I was like, if we just gone the attorney, we were trying to save money though.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're on a
Who
budget. We're on a budget.
wouldn't?
So
You
yeah.
can't take away from the prize pool.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's $1,200 that now we can't give away. This would have been
Yeah.
11 coins instead of 10.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
But we had to spend the extra 1,200 on the attorney for the trademark.
Yeah.
But yeah, but again, we do reserve the right to increase the prize pool. So it's at least $1,000 a coin. And we have definitely talked about the later clues or the later coins that are solved. Once we get down to 4 left, 3 left, 2 left, we may start elevating prize money. It's not
Mm.
official yet, but that's something that we've thought about that, okay, these are more difficult puzzles. We're down to the last 2 or 3. Let's kick a little bit of extra money in there and see if we can encourage people to solve these a little faster so that we're not going out in the snow.
That would be sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like anything else that we have forgot or you need want to talk about?
Boy, I don't know.
Think we're-
Are there any other chat questions? No, let's see. Let me think.
No more chat questions.
Drive safe. Don't hunt at night. Don't be insane. Um, enjoy our silly music videos if you do go to our website, our YouTube channel. Oh, if you do go to the YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe. You're not going to be getting constant notifications from us because we're not going to be doing a whole bunch of videos from now till the first coin is found. I think we're kind of done with our music stuff. That was just for
Mm.
fun. So it's not going to be like these robot people that you subscribe to the
Get
channel because they told you
bombarded
something.
with.
Yeah, they told you something interesting about a treasure hunt and you subscribed to them, and then it turned out it was a robot doing a video literally every day, and so it's pinging you all the time. We're not going to do that. That's, but if we do have a video that comes out, you're going to want to see it because we may start doing clue videos. And if you want to see the solution to a puzzle, clearly we're going to do it in the
Yeah,
video.
yeah.
Um,
Makes perfect sense.
and if you see how we explain one puzzle being solved, it may guide you to how another puzzle gets solved.
Mm.
Or you just may rethink how you're going, you may rethink your attack after you see the first solution or the second solution. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and subscribe on YouTube, we're not going to bother you with, like I said, a whole bunch of videos and a whole bunch of notifications and stuff like that.
Yep.
We'll probably do one right before we launch as a, hey, everybody, remember we're getting ready to go. Here's all, we've got hundreds of mails, things going out. But other than that, we're not going to be pinging you every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're also
Like
trying
and
to,
subscribe.
anyone who's registered their email, we're also trying to go really, really light on emails, because neither one of us, neither Jeff or I, like spam. We're not gonna, hey, 28 days left, 26 days left, 24 days left, 23 days left. There's only 22 days. You better get your book because there's only 21 days. We're not doing that. So the
Right.
next mass email we send might not be until October, where we're like, okay, there's 2 weeks to go. Get off your rears. If you haven't ordered yet, it is
Mm.
time to get your order in. So yeah, if you've registered for email, if you register on YouTube, we're not gonna pester you.
Yeah.
But if you do that, thank you very much for doing that.
Yep. Appreciate it.
And
All
Brian, good
right.
luck to you. You're eligible. Uh, you don't know any secrets that anyone else knows. Calazar's channel, they're eligible. We have not paid for sponsorship. If we had paid for sponsorship, then you wouldn't be eligible. But you were gracious enough to say, "Hey, come on to the channel and explain stuff and all that stuff." So you're in. Calazar's is in.
Mm.
Anyone who is not, there's no compensation going back and forth, then you're eligible. So if you win in the first week, um, anyone watching right now, it's not, there's no connection there.
Don't worry, I
Funny thing is,
probably won't.
well, Calazar's K-Pro
Yeah.
almost won and the first she almost found it. She almost found the one that Nancy Zitko found, and
Oh
she calls herself the 1 foot searcher.
yeah.
We did a funny music video about it on our channel called 1 foot searcher because she walked by the bench. She didn't actually sit on the bench, but she walked by the bench where the coin was hidden and didn't find the coin. She was in the exact park, walked by the bench. So she calls herself the 1 foot searcher. So we did a
Oh my
funny
goodness.
music video called the 1 foot searcher. But in retrospect, it's
Did she miss like a little clue or something
no,
that
she was
she was
there.
there?
Well, here's the thing. In that particular park, the park, it ended up bench. It was El Dorado Park bench. Was it bench? El Dorado Park bench. In El Dorado Park, there's about 15 different benches. Well,
Right.
apparently she searched like 14 of them. uh,
I lost track of
uh,
which one she
in
searched.
her mind, she had a block on picnic tables. So there are stone picnic tables under a gazebo that are right next to a playground.
Oh,
And these stone picnic tables do not move because they're one unit of picnic table
concrete. Yeah.
and picnic bench. With every picnic table comes a picnic
Big
bench. But
bitch.
in her
Right.
mind, she had a block on the fact that bench meant separate bench that stands on its own that isn't connected to a picnic table.
Yeah.
So she never ran her hand under any of the picnic benches. There were 3 picnic tables, therefore 6 picnic benches because there's a bench on each side. So she
Right.
didn't run her hand under any of them. None of the team did. They went around to literally every bench in the park except for the ones that were sitting under the gazebo, the most visible. You can Google map El Dorado Park, and you can literally see the location from the street as you do the Google Maps drive by and you just
Yeah.
look in that direction. You can see the location on Google Maps. But
Interesting.
it's that it's that mental block of bench
Right.
means standalone bench. So we made this video called the 1 foot searcher because she got to within a foot. However, what if she had won? It would have been bad for us because it would have looked, because they had interviewed us for the show. It would have looked like we fed them the answer,
Yeah.
that we gave them the location. So in a way, I'm glad they didn't win, but not out of any joy for, oh boy, I'm glad they didn't win. It's just
Right.
that
Right.
it would have been, the whole thing would have come into question like, oh,
It
okay,
would,
well,
it
they
would have
gave,
been awkward. It would have
yeah,
been a little awkward, but
yeah. Oh, they gave the video. Of course, they gave them the answer. They gave them the prize. It took 30 days to find that. And even then, it was only solved after we did a clue on social media.
Mhm.
So, so it wasn't like we were, we didn't give them any special favors.
Mhm.
Um, so if they win one of in this current hunt, it's because they've actually won. If you win, it's because you've actually won. It's not because there's any inside information
Right. Right.
or anything like that. Yeah. You just, yeah, that would foul the entire thing.
My plan is to have my family kind of join me with it. You
Yeah.
know, meet on Friday nights, go over the book, kind of see what we can come up with.
Right.
And go from there. Make it a family affair.
Exactly. And the concept for the television show would have been, or is, because we have a 35,000 word script Bible. We've got 50 different locations, all 50 states. We've got all 50 puzzles done. We've got the host dialogue written for all of the states. Um, and our concept for it is that the show comes out, let's say Friday night. Ideally, it would be Friday night. But the email, you register your email, it's free. You go and you register your email, and now you're playing in the Great U.S. Treasure Hunt. You're part of this television show.
Mhm.
You may never win, but you're part of the TV show. You're going to get a clue Saturday morning. It's going to go out to the entire country, and the family can now, here comes the clue, comes in on Saturday morning. Here's the 7 clues that have been released this week. Maybe there's 8 one week and 4 the next week. It depends on how many got
Mhm.
solved the previous week. And in this case, we will have cameras waiting in those parks surreptitiously. You're not going to be sitting there with a broadcast camera just looking around. It's going to be, you would be secretive. But that's the concept for the show is that literally anyone is eligible. Literally anyone can play. You don't go down to Hollywood or New York and try out and razzle dazzle people with
Mhm.
how entertaining you can be. You get your email at home. You solve the thing with your family, and
Mhm.
yep, it's 900 miles away. You're never going to get there in time. You partner with someone. They go into the park. They find the thing. Our cameras are there. They are the ones that jump up and down. Oh, well, Brian back in Joplin is the one. He did the thing, and oh wait, did I say Joplin? It's Columbia. Oh, I'm so nervous. And so, that would be the show. That literally everyone in the country is eligible, and anyone could be on the show at literally any week. Um, yeah, we think that's a
That's
pretty good
interesting.
show. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that would
until
be.
then, we're doing the comic book thing. So
Yeah,
until you see us on television, we're going to keep trying to sell you comic books.
yeah, I like it. I like it. And this will be my first time, so I'm real
Awesome.
excited. I'm real excited.
Awesome. Good luck.
Yeah,
And our motto is good luck and have fun. The
that's
fun
great.
part is if you're not having fun, then we haven't done our job.
Yeah. My motto is be safe, be kind, be positive, and have fun.
Always be safe. Don't go 90 miles an hour when you solve the thing, and it does happen to be 100 miles away. Don't try to get there in an hour. Just go, have fun. Uh, you're probably going to be the first one there, but you may not. And if you're not, you're not.
Right.
You'll have the satisfaction of, hey, well, at least I was right. I got the solution right. I should have had someone 100 miles away though,
Yeah.
instead of
Well,
driving my.
that's what I was thinking. You said, when one is solved and the coin is found, it's kind of like you automatically know. So therefore, if you were about to go boots on the ground and find this coin tomorrow, oh
Right.
wait, it was just found. You saved me,
Yeah.
200 miles.
Yeah. We're going to tell people immediately. We'll announce it on social media that, okay,
Mhm.
um, Concord Park, Pope Park in Hartford, Connecticut, or Concord, Connecticut, or wherever it is. It's been found,
Mhm.
and we'll make that announcement as soon as we possibly can, as soon as
Yeah.
we get actual evidence that the coin has been found. Oh, here's one thing. What if the coin is missing? If you get to the location, or your finder gets to the location, we'll have a 48-hour clock starting that if they get there and they say, look, here I am, I'm in Hartford Park, I'm in Pope Park in Hartford, and I'm where the blue slide is. And look, let's FaceTime. Let's take my camera and go all around the blue slide. The Velcro is still there, but the coin is gone. Or I can see clearly from where the Velcro used to be stuck, the coin isn't here. When you can prove that, yep, the coin is gone, then we'll start a 48-hour clock and we'll let everyone know. Okay, you found the coin, you've got 48 hours to tell us,
Mhm.
because there hasn't been anyone that sent a solution in, so we don't think there should be another person at this park.
Right.
Then if someone comes along within the 48 hours and says, oh yeah, oh, rats, solution at the Great U.S. Treasure Hunt. Yes, that's me. I wanted to keep it secret. Well, don't keep it secret from us. We're not going to tell anyone. Send the solution in as soon as you get it, and let us know that someone's going to be at the park. Joe Blow's going over to get the park, or going over to get the coin.
Mhm.
That way we can, you notify someone immediately, so that we don't have people, wandering around trying to find something that's no longer there. And if something is missing, that literally nobody found it, then the first person who sent the solution in is the one that wins the full $1,000. Well, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. That was wrong. That was wrong. If you had sent a hunter there, a finder there, and they went and found it, we'll treat them as if they found it. So they would get the 500 and you would get the 500 for the solution.
Yeah.
But your guy will still be paid off, even though there's no coin, and you'll be paid off.
Mhm.
And they'll get a duplicate coin and you'll get a coin. So yeah, we don't think that's ever going to happen.
Right. I mean, it's 1 in a million chance that somebody's just going to randomly stumble upon this thing or something.
But it is possible. It
Yeah.
is possible.
It's
And
yeah.
we're hiding the coins as late as we possibly can. That coin stayed in Vegas for 10 years. It was under that bench it wasn't a coin. It was a silver Z that you stick up on a
Mhm.
car, from AutoZone. It was there for 10 years and it was never disturbed. Coins are a little bit thicker and a little bit larger, but still I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
you can hide that almost
Anywhere.
anywhere. So, but yeah, so 48-hour clock. If the coin is declared missing, you still split the prize.
Yeah. I like it.
That's the only thing I can think of that I haven't said, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Well, Dave, I appreciate having you on. Stay
Thank
on
you
for
so
a
much.
second, and I'll shut the live feed off, and then we'll get off after that. But I
Awesome.
appreciate having you. Like I said, I enjoyed talking to you out in Vegas, and I just wanted to kind of help you out. If you didn't want to come on, that was fine too. I just wanted to make that offer to you. I don't
Yeah,
have a big following like Christy and Mike do,
that's all
but
right.
anything to help you out. So,
Every little bit helps. You never
yeah,
know that. I mean, you might have five people that buy the book and three of them end up winning. You don't know.
right.
There's no way of knowing. The odds that someone lives right next to a coin, probably not very good. But if you solve a puzzle and you partner with someone, you could very easily win.
Yep.
And thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah. Everybody be safe, be kind, be positive, and have fun. And remember, leave a comment on the video and you could win a book. And that's fine. Go ahead and buy one because you might need two or three.
You never know.